in transit, Sunday, October 15, 8:44 a.m. And our sun is in gate 32. Our Earth is in gate 42. And they're both in line 2. So gate 32, duration, continuity. The only thing which endures is change. 32 is in the spleen, shooting towards the root. And line 2 is restraint. The control of power for the benefit and enhancement of harmony. The potential for transformation that may be beneficial to others. It's one side of the coin. Other side is a tendency and frustration, particularly from a position of strength, to social withdrawal rather than persistent control. The frustration with controls or being controlled. So I was reading about these, the channels that these are a part of my new study program that I'm getting myself involved with. And something that's important to note about this channel, right, is it's about knowing what can be transformed and what cannot be transformed. Using this ambition from the root, which I personally have the 54. And so this 32 is really helpful for me in this light to be able to look at some of the things. And this is the time that I kind of do some of my audits and some of my reflections. The other gate 42 is also really good for reflecting and looking back into what I've learned from the previous cycle. But in terms of continuity, right, it's this constant evaluation, right? Fear of failure causing the brakes to start, and that's where the detriment from this one comes in, is the frustration with being controlled, right? Or the fear of being controlled, or the fear of failure that prevents the starting, or the fear of starting and then being controlled. Like, that's something that I for sure had a lot of distorted reflections around for myself. Like, I'm like, I don't want to get too big because I don't want my ego to blow up on me. And not to say that that's dumb, but it was just like, that was so much of other people's projections on me that I was having a distorted reflection of in my own life, especially because I have the hanging gate that matches with this continuity. And ultimately, I wasn't really able to apply the reflectiveness and the evaluation to my own self. I was constantly applying that evaluation to other people and other people's thoughts of me. So, again, if you don't have this center defined and now suddenly it's defined, suddenly there's this shinier light on me and the things that I'm doing, in the ways that I could be better, in the changes or the transformations that are happening or want to happen or have been wanting to happen in my field. And then I'm able to supply that with the drive. Now, that being said, I'm not starting businesses. I'm not offering services. I'm not entering into relationships based off my ability to do this. This is just me checking in with my relationship with myself. That's how we use the transits, right? It's not doesn't change your body graph, doesn't change your strategy and authority, but it does apply new circuitry and new channels and pathways that are it's important to know how that affects you, right? Like, for instance, if I have the I have the undefined spleen, and one of the functions of a defined spleen is to cut stuff away, I'm allowing things to transform, but still using my strategy and authority. So, for instance, this new kind of study session thing that I'm doing with myself, I'm going to do that for 28 days before I cut out my old way of learning. That makes sense? So it's important to, again, always cycle back to your own strategy and authority. But while these transits are here, pay attention to them and see how they can improve your life. And the real big caveat is, one, it's personal, but the interpersonal relating is, notice who is frustrated with their lack of ability to control something, with the responsibility of controlling things, or with the the reality of them being controlled. Look and see how other people are responding, right? Or people could be also, transforming, and those transformations are beneficial to others, because again, this is there's a binary to this, right? There's people are going to receive this and they're going to express this, or they're going to express that. And again, human design is kind of uh, beyond morality, in a sense of it's not good and bad, even though exaltation and detriment definitely sound like good and bad. It's this or that, right? So restraint, right? The understanding that control of power for the benefit and enhancement of harmony, right? This is like, I think of, if anyone's into music, there's this plugin or this device called a compressor. And if I have like sound waves that are different heights, in that they're different volumes, but I want them to all be a more consistent volume, I have this thing called a compressor, which makes the loud parts a little bit quieter and makes the quieter parts a little bit louder. And so that's an element of control, and allowing for there to be better harmony, more space in the mix for other instruments. So that's kind of how I'm viewing this one. Line 2, restraint, and that hermit line. Good day to kind of like, not necessarily do a whole lot of shit. It's a hermit day, so invitation to go do that. Now, let us go to. Oh, I'll read the I Ching. Luke isn't here. Let's see. The I Ching is always nice. 32. We have 9 in the second place, means remorse disappears. The situation is abnormal. A man's force of character is greater than the available material power. Thus, he might be afraid of allowing himself to attempt something beyond his strength. However, since it is in the time of duration, it is possible for him to control his inner strength, and so to avoid excess, cause for remorse then disappears. I think I might have just confused myself. Anyway, it's okay. Great. This is one thing about this server that I really love, is like, I'm doing my best not to come on here and like teach or preach. I'm really just learning alongside with you guys. Like I've been a reflector my whole life. I'm 30 years old, and I've been studying human design for probably about 8 or 9 years, and I've never tracked the transits this closely. And I've never gotten to know the gates in a way where, someone asked me the other day, like, why do you track the transits? Does it like really affect us that much? And I says, no, but it affects everybody else. And so if I can witness the way that it's affecting everybody else, and sample and find the common thread between everybody, which ultimately is the words that I'm studying showing up and how other people express it, that helps me learn about it a lot more. So just a disclaimer that, I'm not the expert. The system itself is really incredible, but the real mastery comes in, right, living the experience and witnessing this in other people, and yourself, which is one of the reasons why I created this form right here. The characters as gates is to give us an opportunity to assign these gates, as we're talking about them, characters, be it from movies or any of that kind of stuff, TV shows, pop culture, music, whatever, quotes, songs, whatever. It's not necessarily just characters as gates, but it's more like manifestation of the gates in reality. Maybe I'll change the name. That's a nice one. Alas, let us move on to the Earth Gate. I find it helpful. I journal daily, so it has been interesting to see the patterns and connections. Awesome. Yeah, and this is, again, it's like, for me, this is one of the most consistent things that I have in my life, is to read the transits in this way and get on here with you guys. And so, this is something that I hope you're getting a lot of benefit out of it, and I'm getting a lot of benefit out of it too. So let's look at gate 42, increase in growth. Line 2 is identification. One side is recognition and acute capitalization of trends, power for growth through participating in trends. Other side of the coin is an aesthetically motivated withdrawal in times of progressive change. Growth which stops in reaction to trends or change. So Gate 42 overall is about this this ability to bring things to a close and be able to reflect on what you learned from it, right? It's part of this one of the format channels, which basically means it's all the channels from the root to the sacral, which there's 3. And these channels affect the way that the entire circuitry works. And this one in particular is a part of the sensing circuit, which is this like cyclical nature, abstract sensing circuit, this cyclical energy that is kind of always happening in the background. That this gate provides the ability to, again, kind of like reflect and learn from what's been closed, or what cycle has been completed. Now, without 53, you might find it hard to like start it up, right? Or you might find it hard to know when the timing is, when something is completed, because the 53 is I think it's 53. Let me make sure on that. 53. Yeah, 53. You might lack the staying power to complete the process or feel frustrated trying to start things that never really get going. Right? So with that, again, this is like, and I can look at my chart real quick. And this is something I recommend everyone do too, is with the transits, you look at your transit overlay with your own body graph and to see how it affects you. Like for this is just a hanging 32 for me, so while that reflection is present, I'm not necessarily expecting too much of myself in terms of like bringing things to maturation. Again, not really starting anything new. And back to 42. So when we're looking at trends, right, these things that the trending something being something that's like very popular in the time, and understanding that there is a life cycle to trends and that they're not always going to be popular forever, right? Like this little kid right here, the yodel kid, it's like at one point he was all over the internet and now he's not, right? And that's a trend. And so being able to acknowledge that there is a trend and capitalize on that, right? The ability to participate in trends without being super swept up in it, or participating in thinking that, oh, this is my golden ticket, this is going to be sustainable. Again, trends are not necessarily sustainable, versus the growth which stops in reactions to change and trends, right? The one that says maybe you're on the last trend and there's a new trend coming, and because the new trend is coming, but you already know how to do the last trend, you don't hop on with the new trend. Now, this isn't about bandwagoning, right? It's just about identification of what's popular, what is where there's an ability to learn and grow from any given situation. Wonderful. 42, 6 in the second place. Someone does indeed increase him. 10 pairs of tortoises cannot oppose it. Constant perseverance brings good fortune. The king presents him before God. Good fortune. A man brings about real increase by producing in himself the conditions for it. That is, through receptivity to and the love of good. Thus the thing for which now he strives comes of itself, with inevitability of natural law. Where increase is thus in harmony with the highest laws of the universe, it cannot be prevented by any constellation of accidents. But everything depends on his not letting unexpected good fortune make him feel heedless. He must make it his own through inner strength and steadfastness. Then he acquires meaning before God and man, and can accomplish something for the good of the world. So this is like, don't wait for good luck, create luck. In the sense that, it's one thing that I always say a lot is like, take care of your gifts and your gifts will take care of you. And that for me happened first of all with Reiki and my healing practice. It was something that I would participate like at least half an hour, usually an hour a day of doing like self-healing work and meditation. And my gifts took care of me. I got flown around the world. I got paid a great amount of money. I got to meet amazing people. And it's like, there's something important about the gifts that we have. And the beauty of it is, each of us has an inherent gift, and human design can kind of like reveal that to us. But until we really start tending to that gift without necessarily the expectation of, oh, this is going to like be profitable, or there's going to be an opportunity to capitalize on it, right? Until you actually like love the thing that you do and you love your gift and just appreciate it for it being your gift, until you can actually lose yourself in it, like I would do with Reiki, and now with like human design, prior with music. There's a sweet spot in there. As Goku says, the power comes from a need, not a desire. You have to create that need. True. And this is one thing too that this is a good use case for the word need, right? Because it's like the needs that we have to meet our own needs, right? Or we have to really understand the difference between a need and a desire. Like, you can live without a desire. You cannot live without a need, right? And so with this, one of the things that you need, and also the thing is, for me, at least this is how I work, I don't need anything from anyone. I desire things from others. And I become deserving of that thing that I desire by taking care of my own needs. Right. So that's something to, anytime. It's so funny. I hear people online all the time talk about like, what are your needs? Just tell them your needs. And they're like, well, I need you to be more mindful of my feelings as I move through. I'm like, no, you don't need that. Like, you can actually live without that. It's something that you desire. And also, where are you not meeting your own needs in these realms? Like, a lot of the times I talk about it with like relationship and consent and all that stuff. But it's like, what is the difference between someone resisting that, being like, oh, I can't give you that, versus someone being like, oh yeah, absolutely. It's your ability to meet your own needs. And so your ability to take accountability and take ownership of your own experience, of your own expressions, and of your own projections. Like, one thing that's actually been coming up that I'm super stoked to explore more is I've been talking with Life Force about this this Live Your Design course, which is happening in January. So you guys have time to ride out probably multiple lunar cycles if you want to join us. I think we're going to do about 20, 25 people. But we're going to go through how to live your design. And we're going to specifically focus on the holistic perspective of, like, for instance, if you have the open heart and the open G, what not self shows up there? Or if you have the defined heart, what not self shows up via the defined heart, as opposed to the undefined heart, right? And so one of the biggest things about human design is the centers, and this whole Live Your Design course is kind of based around how the not self theme is experienced through the implementation of not self strategies, which is, again, opposing the forces of nature that are present within you, right? And not necessarily knowing the context or knowing how they impact other people, right? So that's super exciting. The program, I think it's going to be probably like 3 or 4 weeks. We haven't it's like completely distilled it down yet. We're still in the process. As you can imagine, working with me is you have to be very patient because of my whole strategy and stuff. And because I want part of it to be very interactive naturally, which he's already told me the course is already like that. But in terms of me being able to bring pieces online around like movement and physiology, and biomechanics, things like that. So looking to see if there's places for that to be added on there, but it's going to look like, again, like 3 to 4 calls, probably about like 90 minutes to 2-hour calls each, where Ryan, or Life Force, as his Discord name is going to be guiding most of the program. And again, I'm going to be there as like me and adding my, 2,000 cents to things, because sometimes I talk a lot. Undefined throat problems. And yeah, that's it. It's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for it. So there'll be more info coming on that. If you want the details on it, when they come out, obviously I'll be posting it here. But if you want like it in your email to make sure you don't miss it, if you click on my avatar, click on Coco, go to the link there, reikimarco.com/links, and what do you call it? Do the register for the LYD. It's going to be awesome. And we also are having we're going to have some discounts for those of you here in the Discord, just the free users who are active, and then also a bigger discount for the people that are subscribed. So that's Jude's, Always Like Water, Holographic Bagel, Soul Prospering. Subscription, by the way, is so fun. We have like a little VIP chat, and it's like kind of feels like when I had the moderators, when I first started the moderators, and we were like all just like chatting about how stoked we were about what was going on in the server, in the little secret channel in the server, and talking about how to make it better. But I've been really enjoying that that VIP chat. So if anyone wants to join that, we have a $20 a month subscription. We also have a $5 a month subscription for people. And again, it's like it's not necessarily like you're getting a ton of value from these subscriptions, because the ton of value for me, at least what I see, is in the free parts, and I just wanted to create the subscriptions as a way for people to give back to the server. And like, I think probably like 75 to 80% of it goes right back into like the what's it called, the moderators, and paying for like bot upgrades and boosts and stuff like that. So just literally things to make the server better. So with that being said, appreciate you, Dragon. I finally got my laptop, so I'll be able to come bug y'all VIPs. Let's go. I love it. I love it so much. And it looks like, oh, Plant Mama, you got you're on you got the Eevolvee. You're an Eevolvee member too. I didn't see that. I was messing around with the colors. I got to change your guys' colors back. The Eevolvee members. But thank you, Plant Mama. Thank you, Judes. Thank you, Dragon. Thank you, everybody, for being here and participating. Really appreciate it. Really excited to grow this community. And again, it's like we're like a couple months old, Eevolvee Human Design, and we've already got like neutrino design. We've got like we're on the best app in human design. Our Discord is on the best app in human design, and we're just getting started. So I'm stoked. This is awesome. It's an honor to be allowed here. So, Dragon, I love you. So funny. And I love you too. Love all you guys. Peace and love. And yeah, see you tomorrow. Also, again, like open invitation for anyone to use the lounge, which if you find it it's in the voice channels. It's right under the stage. The lounge is an open voice channel. So for anyone that just wants to like chit chat, talk about stuff, it's like wild, wild west out there. No one's like moderating or anything. Official stuff is going to come from the stage. The lounge is just like you could talk about whatever the heck you want. Yeah, run the open mouth, run the undefined throat, run the defined throat, whatever. But again, that's what it's there for. So feel free to use it. If anything goes on there that you feel like, my thing is like just like keep it sacred, which is pretty loose. But if there's anything going on that's like not cool, just tag the moderators. Just at moderators, hey, at this person is definitely not keeping it sacred. What do we do about this? and then we'll address it from there. Thankfully, we haven't necessarily had any problems like that. And that's part of the growing pains. Like a couple weeks ago, we had our first like crypto spammer bot thing that we had to ban a couple people. But again, these are good signs in the sense that we're attracting attention. We're getting we have something of value here. Otherwise, people wouldn't necessarily be like checking it out or trying to take some of the value from it. So again, good things. Good things. Love you guys. I'll actually leave this time. Bye.